Hi guys, this is Bill from Spencer1984.com with another update to the Twister trucks. And with work continuing on the bodies, or at least the Ram body, it's time to get to work on the chassis. Now, I want to use the Revell chassis for the Dodge because it's a full detail, but it's a short box, short cab, so I'm going to need to cut it right across here to extend the cab. And then I'm also going to need to cut it behind the cab to lengthen it for the full-size box. Now this part is basically the same as it was for the Fall Guy pickup, so I'm going to jump ahead to where I've got the big pieces glued together. So I added the same scale 20-inch extension to the cab with some sheet styrene. It's reinforced on the top side with some thin sheets that you won't see. And on the underside, I've started sculpting in some of the reinforcing ridges and the edges and all that detail work. Still have a ways to go, but that's underway. And then back here, I added a section right in the middle of the fuel tank, because that both lengthens the chassis and it switches to the larger tank that you see on the AMT kit. The short box trucks generally had the 26-gallon tank. The bigger trucks had the 35-gallon tank. So that's kind of what I was going for here. It was also super handy in that it gave me a place to put a reinforcing beam right across all the parts of the joint. So that's not going anywhere. That's a nice, sturdy component now. Now, kind of like with the cab, I still need to do a little bit of cleanup on it. This side, I added a filler panel. Need to sand that smooth and do a little shaping on it. The other side, where it meets the frame rail, I need to clean that up some. But slowly but surely, it's getting there. And if I bring in the cab, it's done another layer on that, but I can actually snap the box into it. So I left all the connections on the back of the cab. And if I bring in the chassis, I can see how everything lines up there. And that's okay. Overall, think everything looks like it lines up pretty good. It's pretty straight. Everything kind of falls where it needs to. It's a little hard to tell exactly front to back where this needs to fit, so I'll need to do a little bit of fine-tuning as I go, but it's getting close. Then on the much simpler end of the spectrum, I've been working on the Jeep chassis as well. This is mostly straight out of the box. I did change out the differential cover in the rear because what they had there was just a blob. Really couldn't make out what kind it was supposed to be. The front is okay. You see just enough detail on that, and the tie rod kind of hides it, but the back was garbage, so I just pulled one out of my parts box, sanded off the remnants of what was there, and glued that on. And otherwise, painted the spare tire, painted the gas tank, painted the transfer case, and started doing some weathering on that. Now, because this is supposed to be the older truck in the movie, I want to show that it's seen some things over its life. So, a little bit of weathering on the chassis, and same thing on the engine. I've got the block painted AMC turquoise, and then went through and added a little bit of oil, a little bit of staining, some highlights, some shadows. The starter still looks like garbage, I acknowledge that, but once it's in place, it actually fits in there pretty nicely. And then if I flip it over, the differential kind of hides the starter, so that was why I didn't want to go through the trouble of carving that off and rebuilding it. To bring in the body for this, I haven't really had to do anything more on this body yet. I will be getting to it, but really wanted to focus on the chassis. And again, that looks okay. You can see that lines up where it's supposed to, fits nicely. Yeah, like I said in the review, the Revell Honcho is a pretty decent cat. And so that kind of wraps things up for this week. I know it's been a shorter update, but most of what I've been working on has been filling and sanding and cutting little bits of plastic and throwing things out and trying to make something that works. So I'm going to continue doing that. I'm going to get both chassis completely wrapped up. Going to continue working on the bodies and going to start in on the interiors if I've got some time for it. Just going to have to see how scheduling goes over the next week. But I will have another update for you all next week. You can check back then, and thanks for watching.